Good morning vlog. It is Monday, April 15th, and I am running a little bit behind this morning, I guess, even though I have the day off. I don't start my new job until Wednesday, but I do need to head down to Beaumont soon, and I am hopefully going to do it after these files are finished copying over. I'm freeing up an SD card that I'm going to use for a video camera. I'm bringing a lot of equipment down with me just to make sure I can get everything that I can recorded in multiple forms and fashions. I'm going to hook up the couple of microphones to my iPad, have that going, and then I'm also going to potentially have my digital recorder. I think I already have it packed up and ready to go. The Scarlett 2i2 has two output ports on the back that I can then plug in directly into that digital recorder, so I can have it as kind of a pass through and then record backup audio just in case. But yeah, freeing up this SD card here so I have plenty of space to work with in terms of recording for when I get down there finally. And it looks like I probably won't get down there until noon, if not later, probably 1 o'clock. But hopefully that will still give me plenty of time to interview my grandfather and get caught up, see how things are going, and then just go through all of his stories, because he has a lot. But wanted to just quickly provide that quick update this morning, and this is almost done, and I'm gonna hit the road. So I am on the road down to Port Arthur right now, and I'm testing out to see if Snapchat can record my audio while I'm hooked up to the Bluetooth speaker system of my car right now. So hopefully this is getting caught, and hopefully the road noise is not too much to affect the sound quality. So I apologize if that is the case. But on the drive down, I was just, as usually what happens whenever I'm riding in the car or driving in the car, and my mind goes to certain places that are really just kind of brainstorming sessions for me. And I get these ideas, and I really need to write them down or get them down in some form or fashion, but I can't because I'm driving. So I'm trying to get these thoughts down right now while I still can and have the idea. And I've been listening to an audiobook that I heard recommended on another podcast that I just got into. One of my friend Zane recommended it to me. Not the book, but the podcast called The Art of Paid Traffic. And I can link to it down below. But there was an episode that I saw on the feed that really got me interested, of book recommendations that really changed his life, the host's life. And so I started to look into that and see what books he recommends, because I'm always a fan of book recommendation shows, and I pretty much, after listening to that episode, I went back and added all of those books to my to-read list on Goodreads, and I actually downloaded 3 of them last night, and I'm listening to one right now on the way to Port Arthur. One of those books is called The Secrets of the Millionaire Mind, and I'm a little iffy about it right now, but it's only about 5 hours long, and since I listen to audiobooks at 1.5 times speed, I also listen to podcasts at that same speed, I'll be able to knock it out pretty quickly, actually, all on this one leg, down to Port Arthur from Dallas, because it's about a 5-hour drive, even though I'm also taking the time to make some of this vlog right now. And while listening to the book, it got my mind thinking about what I want for the goals personally in my life, and as I touched on in previous vlogs, I'd like to eventually have a podcast network that is operating
on its own. But in order for me to do that, I need to start even with a single show that I'm doing all myself, all on my own. I mean, I've been doing some here and there. I do a podcast. I do the Built-in Obsolescence podcast with a friend Danny. But those podcasts are that podcast is too general for me. I've only done general podcasts. I need to go niche or niche. I never know how to say that word. But something that I was thinking of doing is just a show that I put on myself, and I have my own name for it, which I want to name my podcast name. And so with the podcast show that I want to do for only me, I'm going to go as niche as I can in terms of what like the life of Phil is, my interests, my passions, and I'm going to make it around. I'm deciding to make it around brand building, how I'm leveraging technology to build up my branding, my online reputation, and the tools that I'm using to help me accomplish that. And then also diving really deep into just technology nerdy subjects that I just find fascinating. So it's niche in that it's going into my mind, my inner workings to give somebody a glimpse on the life of Phil and what's happening with him and what he is doing to build up his online presence and what he's doing. And that's going to be my pillar. That's going to be my base show that I'm going to base everything else off of. And what I mean by that is I have ideas for other shows that I want to do as well. Like I have a food show that I want to do in the Dallas-Fort Worth area. And I can then leverage my personal show about my life, what I'm doing, my branding show, to discuss the behind the scenes, the technicalities, the issues that I'm running into, how I'm marketing the other show that I'm producing and performing, and writing and planning and all that stuff. That's my podcast is where I can do a deep dive into whatever tactics I'm using for marketing, what I'm doing in order to produce, what tools I'm using, all that stuff, way in and out, and what I can. And so I'll be able to kind of scratch two itches at once in terms of having that base network of shows for my own podcast network that I eventually want to build and have going and sustaining, but also creating content that feeds off of itself. So I'll be making this food show that I want to do, but then also I'm taking the lessons I'm learning from making that food show and repurposing that content for the content that's driving my base podcast that will eventually feed into this network that I eventually want to build. Because I have the ultimate goal of, I've been saying this for such a long time, I love technology and I want to teach other people how to use that technology to better that, so that they can leverage it in their own lives and make their lives easier. That's all I want to do. That's kind of what my mindset is right now, what I'm going through. And I've found that those thoughts that were going through my mind right now were so overpowering. It was distracting me. It was taking my attention away from the audiobook that I'm trying to listen to. So I'm like, you know what? Let me just pause that, get these thoughts out, get them on paper, on video rather. And that way I can go back and continue focusing on this audiobook. But yeah, I'm just glad I really finally got that out. And I'm taking a bathroom break right now because this is a long trip, and there's only one place that I can think of stopping along the way whenever I'm going down to Houston, pretty much, or even Austin for that matter, and that's getting here at Buc-ee's. All right, so I'm done with the pit stop. I grabbed a few things to eat on the road a little bit later. I'm going to be getting in early afternoon into Port Arthur, but that I just need to get something to eat between now and then. So I picked up a few keto-friendly items from this Buc-ee's, and now I'm gonna hit the road again, and just try and finish out this book. and see what I can take away from it, and if I can put any of the advice and recommendations they have into practice. Looking forward to it. Right, and so we're finally here, and now it's time to unpack all the equipment and get it set up and start this thing. No doorbell, so I'm just gonna knock and see what's happening here. Maybe should have gave him a call beforehand.
Ain't nobody home.
Oh, I think there is.
Come on in.
Hey,
sir.
Poppy.
I'm fine.
How's it going? Doing all right?
Oh yeah, you parked in this driveway?
Yes, sir.
Okay, you did smart.
I have literally not been to this house since I was a kid, but it's good to see all the same things that I remember from my childhood still here, including the bathroom heater, as well as the the decor on the walls. This is great. All right, vlog. It's been a long day filled with driving, and then as soon as I got over to my grandfather's, I went on ahead and just set up all the audio equipment and went through an interview. I didn't really go through much of an interview. He was just able to just recount story after story, and I prompted a few along the way. Excuse me, but it was just a really great time overall. Just to listen to all the stories that he was able to recall. A lot that I would never heard of before. And some, I've heard of before, but he was able to just recall them with the same detail that I had missed over the years after hearing them, years and years ago. And it was just really nostalgic being in the same house that I hadn't been to for quite literally decades. The last time I remember being in that house, I was playing with steel cast Hot Wheel, not really even Hot Wheels, just steel cast cars, really old ones that were just part of a pile of toys that were in the closet, and I'd play in the little hallway while mom and dad and my grandmother and my nanny and poppy, and then also my grossmother, my great grandmother, they all sat in the living area conversing and catching up and enjoying just conversation. So just being back in that environment was already bringing back a lot of different memories for me. And then just hearing all the stories from my poppy, it wasn't powerful. I don't want to say it was powerful, but it was definitely awe-inspiring. I should say, I was just fascinated the entire time listening to him talk, and he's such a great storyteller, and he has such a kind soul. It's great to be able to spend some time with him. And there were quite a few things that I never realized that happened in that house that just makes it all made it all the more, I guess, emotional in a way. And for example, just all the tragic events that happened at that home. My great grandmother died in the bedroom that was right behind me. My own grandmother died in the living room area that we were talking in, basically right where I was sitting. And even then, something that I didn't even know was that my great grandfather died in the driveway when he suffered a massive aneurysm. When my great grandmother drove him back from a hotel, and he wasn't able to get out of the car, and he just basically passed away in the yard. I never knew any of that, and just knowing that history now definitely puts some things into perspective that, you know, I mean, this life is fleeting. Like your days are numbered. So get out there and make something with your life, because one day it's all going to end. And I'm just really glad that I was able to spend some time with Poppy, just he and I, because I, like, in my entire life I'd never really had a chance to ever do that. Like it was always like, say, me, my Poppy, and my dad, or my parents, Poppy and Nani, and my sister and I, and so I never really had that one-to-one interaction with Poppy before, and so it was long overdue. We talked for quite a long time. We talked for about almost 3 hours of a recording session to get all that on the record in a way. But I don't think I don't think I'm ever going to release it, not for like public consumption. Excuse me. I would only give it to family for them to know and for them to have context on some of the stories and to like see Poppy speak and whatnot, because who knows, maybe future generations of our family, you know, 20, 40, 60 years down the line would like to have some insight on what kind of person Poppy was and what he had to go through throughout his life. And I think this documenting was really powerful to help with that. So definitely before I go to sleep tonight, I'm going to back up the audio files that I have. And then I guess I'm just going to try and go to sleep a little bit early, because I need to be back up in Dallas. I need to try to do that before noon. So in order for me to do that, that means I need to leave at about 6 o'clock at the absolute latest tomorrow morning in order to get there by that time frame, because it's about a 5-hour drive from here. But it was well worth it. I'm very glad that I went out of my comfort zone a little bit to travel this entire way just to have an in-person interview with Poppy and to spend some time with him. I'm very, very glad that I made this choice. But with that, I am going to go ahead and check on the audio files. I'm going to upload some backups, and I hope your Monday was fantastic. I hope it was productive. I hope you got that project done or sent out those emails you needed to. You made those reports that you had to do, or what have you. Whatever you needed to get done today, I hope it went your way and that you crushed it. If not, don't worry, tomorrow's a new day. You'll crush it then. And yeah, just keep doing you.